have to unmute Marilyn.
Yes. Can you hear me? Is my sound okay?
Navriti ma'am, it's going live and I'll admit all the people in the waiting room. Is that okay?
Yeah, please. Thank you. Yeah,
And
please. Thank you.
we are live now. You can start.
All right. Merci. Thank you so much. D'accord. Okay. Bonsoir tout le monde. Welcome everyone. Bonsoir Marceline Lédin. Bonsoir.
It's going live.
Yes. Oui, bonsoir tout le monde. Bonsoir Marceline Lédin. Bonsoir professeur Dr. Gopanayak. Tous les étudiants, les professeurs de JGU, the professors of JGU University, tous les étudiants de différents départements of the other departments who have joined us today, et aussi tous les profs et les étudiants de d'autres universités of the other university which we have with them, which we have with us on the YouTube. Today we have with us Madame Marceline Lédin, and in fact it's an honor to have her with us. And she is from Attaché for Cooperation in French Language, French Institute in India, Institut Français de Lettres. And she will be giving us a talk on Learn French, It's Easy. So many of you are already learning French and you would like to learn French. Donc, c'est apprendre le français, c'est facile. Learn French, It's Easy, and language and its cultural messages. That is langage et la charge culturelle. I would like to take the opportunity to present Madame Marceline. Madame Marceline has master's degree in economics and business management from the University of Nantes. She also has a master's in human resource management from Marne-la-Vallée, France. At the same time, she also has master's degree in linguistics, teaching of French as a foreign language from University of Grenoble. For almost 10 years, she has also provided a socio-professional support to the handicaps in the Paris region and has also played an important role in the transformation of teaching of French as a foreign language. She has taught French at the French Institute in Rabat, Morocco, and then took charge of DELF and DELF exams. She also had an important charge of handling the French language certifications at the French Institute of Morocco. Since 2019, Marceline has been associated with Attaché for Cooperation in French Language at the French Institute in India, where she is in charge of the entire Northern Zone, including handling of DELF and DELF exams conducted in India. Bienvenue, Marceline. Welcome to JGU University. Et merci de partager avec nous votre connaissance précieuse, for sharing your knowledge with us. I would also like to introduce to you our director, notre directeur, Professor Dr. Gopanayak of our Global Languages Center. And I would really like to thank her for taking this initiative and a strong backbone, in fact, of our entire Global Languages section, not only for French, but the entire languages, whether it is German, we have Mandarin, and so we're really grateful to her for organizing this. Dr. Nayak is an educationist with experience in researching, teaching, and training English communication skills to learners in India, Hong Kong, and the United Kingdom. She has a DPhil and Masters in Applied Linguistics and Second Language Acquisition from the Department of Education, University of Oxford, UK. Her first master's degree was in Sociology from Delhi School of Economics. She has an MA in English Language Teaching from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Her research interests include professional communication in English and teaching pedagogy for ESL learners, among others. Before moving on to Madame Marceline, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Gopanayak to please say a few words and open the session. Thank you.
Good evening to all of you, my colleagues, dear colleagues, and thanks Navriti for organizing this wonderful session. And thanks Marilyn for agreeing to come for the first session of our Global Languages Center. We are really honored to have somebody from the French Embassy. French has been a language which is very close to my heart as a foreign language. When I was in Oxford, few of my best friends were all French. So I love the language and the culture as well. So that kind of sets the tone for this session's language and culture talk. I'm sorry that my video is not working. I think somewhere technology ditches us in the last minute, I guess, but that's not going to stop our enthusiasm, and we will carry on with the lecture as scheduled. And thank you all students for joining in. And Marlene, just for your information, we will circulate the video, so your video will be seen by many more people than who are present here. So without wasting much time, I would like to start your presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Gopanayak. Merci beaucoup, Navriti, for the invitation. So I will start right now, and I will start by sharing my screen. Is that clear for everyone?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, thank you.
Bonjour. Ça va? Très bien, et toi? Bonjour. Tu vas bien? Super, et toi? Bonjour. Ah, 2? Bah 3. Bonjour. Tu vas bien? Très très bien, et toi? Superbe.
Ok. Bonjour à toutes et à tous, ou plutôt bonsoir. Good evening, everyone. Namaste. Have you ever been to France? If yes, one of the first things you might have noticed is the way people say hello to each other.
Yeah, Satnam, can you do something about the video?
They kiss.
No, I don't think so. You're both right now because you're in the session and we
In every society, when you meet someone, the first contact with the language is the hello word, bonjour ou bonsoir. And the way you say hello to someone tells a lot about the society and the culture. Unfortunately, with COVID, the kiss is not happening anymore in France. I hope it will come back soon. But let me come back later about the kiss. Je m'appelle Marilyn. My name is Marilyn. I speak French as a mother tongue. I speak English, a little of Spanish, a little of German, Arabic, and a very few words of Hindi. I have been living in Delhi for 2 years now. But before India, I had my first experience of living in a foreign country in 2014. Let me tell you a few words about that. The 4th January 2014, I just locked the door of my apartment in Paris and took 2 suitcases and took a flight in the direction of course, it has stopped. So, suspense. In the direction of Morocco, and exactly in Rabat. Morocco is a country in north of Africa, which is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean in the west, by the Mediterranean Sea in the north, by Algeria, on the east side, and by Mauritania in the southern side. Morocco is an amazing country. It is a monarchy. That means that the head of the country is a king. His name is Mohammed VI. The official religion is Islam, and Moroccans are from Arab or Amazigh ethnicity. The two official languages are Arab and Amazigh, but lots of people speak Darija, which is the Moroccan Arabic, and French in the streets, because of colonization, of course. I was surprised to realize that even if the people around me speak French, they use a very different variety of the language. Let me tell you a small anecdote. Okay. One day, one of my colleagues just came late in a meeting. He had the habit to take the train to come to office, to come by train. You could see that he was like very stressed, he had run, and he just said, "Oh, I'm sorry, but the train didn't wait for me." And I was very shocked actually, because in my point of view, giving an excuse that the train hasn't waited for him was very, very strange. Because in French, I mean in France, we say, I have missed the train. I think in English it's the same. J'ai loupé le train. When my colleague told me, le train ne m'a pas attendu. The train didn't wait for me. And then I realized that it was the literal traduction of the Arabic expression. So even if I speak the same language with the same words and the same sentences, sometimes the language has different varieties because of the culture and because of different things. This gives us a way to think about what is the link between language and culture. And my first question will be, what do you mean, what do you feel when I tell you culture? So I want to move that. So if you want, please to play a small game, I will just copy a small link in the, I will stop sharing my, is there a chat box? Yes. So I will copy a link in the chat box. And I will ask you just to go on the website and to answer the question. Okay, everyone has the link?
Yes.
Okay. So please go on the website and you can just answer. I will start again to share the screen. Okay. So if I tell you the word culture, which is the same word in French actually, culture, can you give me type 3 words? Everyone, you can do that. So I guess we have to wait for a few seconds because it's work in progress.
I think it's a bit slow. It's
Yeah, it's a bit slow.
ça c'est un peu lent.
Okay, so if it's not working, what we could do, I will just stop.
Oui, ça marche. Ça marche.
Ah,
Oui,
oui,
ça marche.
Okay.
It's working. Yes.
Okay, it's working. So I have a few words coming. Okay. So I have tradition, ideas, beliefs, customs, custom, mindest custom, merci, musée, très bien. So I can see that tradition is the biggest word which comes. So usually when we think of culture, we think of art, literature, music, history, geography, even food. And you know that food is very important in France for us French people. But I have noticed that in India also food is important. But it's also, culture is also the way we live, the rules of the politeness, our values, our beliefs. Some have written beliefs, the sense of humor, which is a very cultural aspect of the society, and the notion also of space, time, and distances. But then I have another question. What is the language? The language is words, sentences, grammar, mais pas seulement, not only. Let's go back to my kiss that I started with. Do you know what word we can use for kiss in French? Est-ce que vous connaissez le mot to say kiss in French? Maybe you can write it down in the chat box. Okay, we have bis, bisous. Other word? Baiser. And I will write a last one, which is béco. Béco is a kind of a familiar word to say kiss. So you can see that in French, we have at least 4 ways to say kiss, where in English, we only have 1 word. In French, to kiss, we can say faire un bisou, donner un baiser, se faire la bise, ou embrasser. You can see that the kiss in France is very, very important. You've seen, I've started my presentation by these 2 women who kissed themselves just to say hello. And we have different ways to kiss people. Depends of the region where you come from. You can kiss once in one cheek, or you can kiss twice, or usually in Paris, you kiss twice. But if you go south of France, you kiss once, twice, and 3 times. And if you go to another region, you can also give 4 kisses. So, and I will tell you that in Morocco, they have another way to kiss people. So you can see that the culture and the language is full of culture. So let's go back to my presentation, and I'll go back to my screen. So the language La langue, c'est l'expression de notre vision du monde. It's the expression of the way a society sees the world. With that example of kissing, but also, you know, in Russia, they have so many words to say snow, because snow is something which is very important in Russia. And I'm pretty sure that in Hindi, you have specific words that we can't really translate in other languages, because it's something very specific of the way in India we see the world, because of your reality. Also, the language helps us to build our thought. La langue nous aide à construire notre pensée. Sometimes, you know, you want to express something and you say, okay, but I don't have the word to say it. And it becomes difficult for you to explain that. But if you extend your language, your words, your lexicon, you will have more words to express yourself, to give your feelings or what you want, what you mean. And the way to extend your lexicon is also to learn a foreign language, because you will learn new words and new way to see the world. Alors, pourquoi apprendre une langue étrangère? Why learning a foreign language? Pour développer la créativité, to develop your creativity. Why would learning a foreign language help you to develop your creativity? Maybe because you will have a new world just opening its doors. And if you have a new world opening its doors, maybe you will get the chance to give a step on the side and get a new view and find new solutions if you have a problem, or if you want to find a new idea. Maybe just not think with your own language or with your own point of view, but try to put yourself on the position of someone else from another country. Maybe it will help you. Of course, learning a foreign language will help you to communicate, and to communicate with people who have different languages. It will help you pour comprendre les peuples, to understand people. This is to come back with my kiss example. Like, maybe the first time you've been to France, if some of you have been to France, people wanted to kiss you and you were like, what's happening? I don't want to kiss people, because in my country we don't kiss, like, or you kiss your close family only. But if you start to understand people, the way they see the world, you might understand why they behave in different ways. And it will help you to understand yourself. It will help you to question yourself. So, because if you ask yourself, why do they behave like that? You will get this mirror in front of you and see, so they behave like that. That means that my behavior is different, but why? What is the reason of that? So it's very interesting to learn a different language. And it will help you to develop an intercultural competency, intercultural skill. But what is an intercultural skill? What is having an intercultural approach? An intercultural approach, having an intercultural approach is, of course, to observe first. It's the first thing. You have to be ready to observe what's happening. What's happening around you, and also observe with your eyes, but maybe observe with your ears, and observe with your feelings, with your taste, with your the sense of odorat. I don't remember the word in English, but you understand. Observe what surrounds you. You need to be ready to question people, to question the world, and to question yourself. That's what I said just before. Please keep an open mind. Gardez un esprit ouvert. Si vous gardez un esprit ouvert, if you keep an open mind, you will be ready to exchange. Vous serez prêt à échanger, and you will be ready to experiment. For example, I will take the easiest example, food. For me, when I came to India, I was like, okay, I spent my 4 years in India by eating in these international restaurants, going for shopping in the expats shops in Delhi. Or I try to discover what is the Indian food. And I got kind of different surprises. First, you can guess that spices surprised me. But then I discovered different spices. One of my favorites now is that curry leaves that I use in every dish that I cook. And I'm telling you, I have learned to cook Indian food such as dal, palak paneer, and all those different things. And now, when I will go back to France, I really want to share that with my family and with my friends and make them ready to discover, to observe, to exchange, to question, and to experiment a different culture. So let's go on. So learning a foreign language is really cool. But I would like to ask you, why not choose French? And for sure, you will choose French. And why choose French? Let's start with one question. Qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est un cinéma. What is the word in English for cinema? I guess it is the same, no? Cinéma. In a cinéma, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? On regarde des films. Et quand on regarde des films, qui on voit? On voit des acteurs. That's strange, because even if you don't speak French, I'm pretty sure that you have understood what I've said. And I won't translate that time because it's very easy. Second example. Où sommes-nous? Nous sommes dans un restaurant. Dans le restaurant, j'aime beaucoup boire du champagne. Avant de boire, je demande le menu pour lire le menu. Je m'assieds à la table. En dessert, je mange un gâteau au chocolat. Same thing. I won't translate. I'm really sure that you have understood. So why learn French? Because first you've noticed that French is really easy, but really easy. And it doesn't matter if you make mistake, or you can notice that me in English, I make mistake, but I'm sure that you understand what I say. And this is the most important. Don't be scared. try, have fun. I would like also to tell you that French could be kind of a useful language for your future. Why? Because you can see on this map that French is spoken in more than 30 countries all over the world across the 5 continents. Actually, more than 1 billion people speak French all over the world, and more than 200 million people speak French on a daily basis. For work, for studies, to shop, for everything. And you can even see that French is spoken in India, in Pondichéry, because Pondichéry was a French colony before the independence. And if you go to Pondichéry, maybe you've already been, but try to speak French, you will see that lots of people will understand and will be happy to speak French with you. So now I would like to share with you a few resources to help you to practice your French at home. And of course, also the most important, to enjoy French language. I won't give you websites to exercise, to make homework. No. Just to listen, read, and practice French in a fun way. The first website is TV5 Monde. So TV5 Monde is an international channel for francophones. You can have different TV series, documentaries, everything. Also, what you can have is that part, Français. I will try to put the website in English if I can, but I think you will manage with the French language. Okay, langue française. If you want to practice your French, just click here on langue française. Then, apprendre le français. J'apprends. If my website wants to work. Okay. So you have different videos which can help you to practice your understanding. And it's classified in different levels. A1, if you are a very beginner. A2, if you have started French a little. B1, if you are autonomous, in French. And B2, if you are advanced. But if you're not sure of your level of French, you can change the language, let's say in English. And you can take the test, and you will have a level test so that you can see if you're A1, A2, B1, or B2. Also, I would like to tell you about this small part, which is called TV5 Monde Plus. It's a new platform made by TV5 Monde. It's a platform where you can find francophone programs. So you have cinema, series, documentaries about exploration, environment, culture, history. Jeunesse is for young people, so you might find animated films. So different resources. And every time you have subtitles if you want. So this is the first website that you can take some time to discover. TV5 Monde. After the webinar, I will share all the resources to Navriti, and so she can share with you. The next one, I'm pretty sure all of you have a Netflix account. On Netflix, you can watch French series. I have collected a few for you. So the first one is named Call My Agent. The French title is 10%. It's about an agency for actors. Every episode, you can meet a celebrity, a French celebrity. It's fun and it's very energetic. Second one is Plan Cœur. There is another title in English, but you will find it. I think I don't remember. Okay, it's about a young woman who broke up with her boyfriend, so she's very sad, and her friends want to help her to find a solution to find love. The third one is Il était une seconde fois, once upon a second time. It's about a man who broke up also with his girlfriend, and he wants to go back. He finds a way to go back to the past and to try to change the future. Fourth one, Mito, is about a woman who feels that nobody cares about her in her home. Her husband doesn't look at her. Her children just talk to her to ask for food, so she's a little bored about her life. And she finds a way to have the attention of the family. Mytho in French, I don't know if the same word in English, means liar. And the last one, Bazar de la Charité, is a historical series. I'm not telling you anymore about this one. I just want to share with you the trailer of the series. It's in French. Unfortunately, I haven't found the subtitles, but at least you will see images, and I'm pretty sure that will give you the will to watch the series. So let's watch the trailer.
Bienvenue au Bazar de la Charité.
Il y a un problème? Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Tout est brûlé en une demi-heure. On parle d'une centaine de victimes. Que des femmes de la haute société et leurs bonnes, aucun d'homme.
J'aurais dû y être, moi, au bazar. J'aurais pu être une de ces malheureuses. Vous nous avez poussées. Vous nous avez marché dessus.
De qui tu parles, Alice?
Mais les hommes? Je peux plus vivre avec lui. C'est un monstre. Il ne me laissera jamais revoir Camille. Par contre, s'il croit que je suis morte, là, ça change tout.
Plusieurs témoins disent avoir entendu une explosion. L'attentat, vraiment, ça arrangerait du monde.
L'homme qu'on accuse d'avoir posé une bombe au bazar.
Retrouvez-les.
C'est lui qui m'a sauvé la vie. Quel innocent. Ma fille est morte dans l'incendie. Faut que je prenne la place de votre fille. Vous êtes complètement folle. Je sais qui tu es.
Okay, so this series is based at the end of the 18th century, I guess. So you can see the dresses and the decor. Everything was really nicely made. So I would suggest you to watch those series first to practice your French language, like to listen French. Everything is on Netflix with subtitles. And I can tell you that when you will start to watch them, you won't be able to stop. I have watched all of them and I loved them. Okay, now, if you don't want, if you're fed up with the screens, that because we spend lots of time in the screens, but if you still want to listen to French language, there is this radio, RFI Savoir. It's Radio France Internationale Savoir. It's about news to be informed. So RFI Savoir. You can understand and improve your knowledge, learn and teach French. For example, if you go to learn and teach French, you can listen to different documentaries. So it's a radio. Huh? You can listen to the news in simple French. And when you listen to the news in simple French, you can get also some exercises to help you understand what has been said. So I can suggest you to listen to RFI. You know, when I started learning Arabic, which was quite difficult for me, I have spent a lot of time to listen to the Arabic radio in France. So when I was driving, when I was cooking, I was listening to Arabic radios to listen to the news. And actually, I didn't understand lots of what was said, but I got used to the language, to the music of the language. And I could pick some few words. And actually, I couldn't understand everything, but I had an idea of what was being said. And it was very interesting because it's a good exercise for your ears and for your brain. Okay, if you still want to listen to French, let's listen to music and to songs. And I would like to share with you, so you can go on this website, Diversity, et en plus, je chante en français. And I would like to spend a few minutes with you by listening a song. The song, it's a song which is called Petit Pays from a French singer whose name is Gaël Faye. And I will tell you a little more after the song about Gaël Faye and about this song and what he's done.
Une feuille et un stylo apaisent mes délires d'insomniaque. Loin dans mon exil, petit pays d'Afrique des grands lacs. Remémorer ma vie naguère avant la guerre, trimant pour me rappeler mes sensations sans rapatriement. Petit pays, je t'envoie cette carte postale, ma rose, mon pétale, mon cristal, ma terre natale. Ça fait longtemps les jardins de Bougainvilliers, souvenirs enfermés dans la poussière d'un bouquin plié. Sous le soleil, les toits de tôle scintillent, les paysans défrichent la terre en mettant le feu sur des brindilles. Voyez mon existence avait bien commencé, j'aimerais recommencer depuis le début, mais tu sais comment c'est. Et nous voilà perdus dans les rues de Saint-Denis. Avant qu'on soit sénile, on ira vivre à Guissény, on fera trembler le sol comme les grondements de nos volcans. Alors petit pays, loin de la guerre, on s'envole quand Kaugu Katoi, Kaugu Kaniniya, Warapani wani wapuye, Warago wani wagoka, Kaugu Katoi. Petit bout d'Afrique, perché en altitude. Je doute de mes amours, tu resteras ma certitude. Réputation recouverte d'un linceul. Petit pays pendant 3 mois, tout le monde t'a laissé seul. J'avoue, j'ai plaidé coupable de voyir quand tous les projecteurs étaient tournés vers le Zaïre. Il fallait reconstruire mon petit pays sur des ossements, des fosses communes et puis nos cauchemars incessants. Petit pays, te faire sourire sera ma rédemption. Je t'offrirai ma vie, à commencer par cette chanson. L'écriture m'a soigné. Quand je partais en vrille, seulement laisse-moi pleurer quand arrivera ce maudit mois d'avril. Tu m'as appris le pardon pour que je fasse peau neuf, petit pays. Dans l'ombre, le diable continue ses manœuvres. Tu veux vivre malgré les cauchemars qui te hantent. Je suis semence d'exil, d'un résidu d'étoiles filantes. Un soir d'amertume.
Okay, I won't listen to the full song, but Gaël Faye is one of my favorite artists of the moment. You've noticed that he's singing a slam song. Gaël Faye is not only a hip-hop singer, he's also a writer. He was born in Burundi of a French father and a Rwandan mother. He moved to France in 1995 after the outbreak of the Rwandan genocide. He wrote a novel which is called Petit Pays, which has been released in English called Little Country. This novel is an autobiographical tale of his life when he was a young boy in Burundi. In the novel, he's called Gabriel. Why I'm telling you about this novel and about this singer, because I had the chance to meet him and because he came to India last year or this year in January, just before the lockdown. And we had an exchange with some students to make a slam workshop, and it was very interesting. And also because from the book, a film has been made, and the film will be released in India in the coming days or weeks. It will be an online projection from Institut Français. So if you're interested, just follow our website or our social medias, and the information will come soon. And I really recommend you this novel if you want to read it. And I guess I hope the film will be good. So now, if you want to read, and if you want to read to cook, if you're interested in cooking, there is this famous website in France, which is called marmiton.org. Oh, sorry, I'll go back. Let's go to Marmiton. So you will find different recipes. If you like chocolate, you can make des ramequins fondants au chocolat. Fondant means melting. I think this is an amazing dessert. If you like potatoes, you can make a gratin. Or soup de butternut au gingembre, butternut soup with ginger. And this dessert, tarte tatin sablé, is one of the famous desserts in France. It's basically an apple pie, but very specific. Just please try to make this recipe, and then you'll tell me more about that. So please, you can visit marmiton.org if you want to cook and to learn about French food. If you want to be informed by reading, I suggest you to go to Courrier International. What is interesting with this newspaper is that it gathers different articles from different newspapers from all over the world. So when I was telling you having a different point of view, open the world, this is the perfect example. And the French, which has been used, is not that difficult. So the articles, you can have read full articles, or maybe the first part of the article. You don't have to read everything, but if every day you read all that part and try to understand what has been said, maybe you will improve, and then you will want to read more. Okay. And then if you want to play, there is the famous Scrabble, which is always a good idea to work for your lexical, to increase your vocabulary. Do not hesitate to use the translator. Can you see my phone? On your phone, you might have a translator online translator to help you to play. That's what I do in English, and this really helps me. And now I would like to tell you very few information. So I already told you about Petit Pays, the film, which is coming soon online with the French Institute in India. But you might also be interested in study in France. So the French Institute in India is here to help you. We have a team from Campus France, which is ready to give you some counseling about studies in France. And very soon, so from this, on the 6th and 7th of November, we'll have the Choose France Tour online with more than 30 universities and French high studies school, which will be on live and online to give you more information. And if you are interested, my colleague Rachid from Campus France will be delighted to give you a webinar about Campus France and about studies in France. And I would like to say merci, thank you, shukriya, dhanyavad. And I'm ready now to listen to your questions, or if you want to talk about your experience or whatever, we have time. Thank you.
Merci. Oui. Ma'am, please.
Yeah, merci, Marilyn. Thank you, Sukriya. I think you have got the first question of the evening. One of our students want to know if you can recommend any podcasts for them, any French podcasts.
Any French podcast? Like, depends what they want to listen. What I can suggest you, because just like that, I don't know, but let me have a look in my Spotify and I will send you some suggestions so that you can share. Okay?
Thank you so much. So the thing is that if any one of you has any questions, please type them on the chat box and we will take it. Let me add to what, yeah, about the kiss, you know, people, I mean, I have also very interesting anecdote about kiss. When I first went to Oxford, one of my friends came and kissed me and I was shocked out of my life because I did not realize that people can come and kiss you on your cheeks on the road. It was the first in my lifetime. And then like he was shocked. He was like, what's wrong with you all? Like, don't you greet each other? And that's when I realized that kiss is a form of greeting. In India, I don't think we can ever dream of doing that. But it's nice to know other people's culture. So there's a question. Isn't kiss a greeting? Is it etiquette? Yes, answer is I think it's more of an etiquette than being personal. But Marilyn can throw more light on this one. They're asking, is it personal or is it an etiquette?
Okay, so yes, if you meet someone like in a formal situation, like for work, or like if you meet someone you don't know, like if you might be shake the hand first. That's the first thing. But very quickly people will get to kiss each other. It's not even at work actually. It's not something that I like very much because every morning when you have to go to office and to kiss 15 people, it takes some time. But with the people I like, it's something that I do. So yes, if you meet an employer, like if you go for an interview for a job, don't kiss the person. No. First, just shake the hand. And these days, nobody will kiss you or nor even shake the hand because of this pandemic. But yeah, it's like something that people do with my friends. Every time I meet my friends, and even if we are not that close, just to say hello, we kiss.
Yeah, I think that has answered, and somebody has written that in Mauritius also they follow the same system, and like it may not be in the first encounter, but once you come to know, I think kissing becomes a part of the etiquette, if you can interpret it that way. Yeah. So, and coming back to the Marilyn, I must thank you. You introduced our students to many different sites, which they will definitely use it for. I'm sure our teachers have been doing this, but it certainly adds more to our repertoire of things that we can give our students. Any other questions that people want to have? Otherwise, I'll take up an argument, which is when Marilyn was mentioning about why you should learn languages, because it has been, research has proved that if a person knows multiple languages, the brain works faster. It's not just the thing. And one more thing that I would like you all to take away from this is that learning a language doesn't mean that you have to have the accent and everything. We were just listening to Marilyn, and she has a very, very fine French accent. But does that mean that we can't speak French? No, it doesn't mean we can't speak French, even though we may not have that native accent. Yeah, and Navriti has a question, so I'll give away to Navriti.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Gopal. Thank you so much, ma'am. Et merci, Marlene. C'était très informatif ce que vous avez partagé avec nous, whatever you have shared with us. C'était très, très enrichissant, very informative. And vous avez parlé de la culture. You've given about des ressources différentes pour les étudiants, different kind of resources for the students in terms of la télévision, la radio, le journal et tous. But I had a question like for the students, like ils vont préparer normalement pour le DELF et DALF. And for the DELF and DALF. Et le problème, c'est ça, en Inde, in India, on ne parle pas français. Donc, la communication dans la langue française, c'est très difficile pour les étudiants. It's very difficult for them to improve their oral. Donc, si vous pouvez conseiller de quelle façon est-ce qu'ils peuvent améliorer l'oral. Et aussi peut-être l'écriture. Oui, en fait, l'écriture et, comme on dit, the written and oral. Ça, c'est les deux problèmes principaux. These are the two major problems where the students would really like to work on when it comes to the oral French and the written. So if you could just advise our students.
Yes. So what I have noticed in India about DELF and DALF is that the written part usually is the part which is most successful. Like they can do properly the written part. But what is most difficult for you is the listening comprehension. That is kind of difficult because I think that, of course, you don't have French presence in the country. So it's very difficult to listen to French. I could advise you to visit. So I've given this RFI website and TV5 Monde, where they have exercises just to practice understanding. And they have a partnership with France Éducation Internationale, which is the provider of the DELF and DALF. So the exercises that they will provide, that they will give, will really help you to work the understanding. For the interaction, talking, which is kind of difficult. I know that it's difficult to meet people now, especially now. But if you take the chance, si vous prenez chaque chance de parler avec un Français, n'ayez pas peur. Don't be scared. we will be very happy to speak in French with you. Et n'ayez pas peur de faire des erreurs. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. As I told you, I make mistakes in English, but I'm not scared. And I'm sure you understand what I say. And it's the most important. And the more you will do it, le plus vous allez oser, the more you will dare to speak in French, the easier it will come. But for interaction with French people, well, maybe there is like one website which is called the iTalki. So I think it's quite serious. It's not like a meeting website. You have some teachers also who are French, but it's also a website, I think, that you can find people to speak. So maybe someone who wants to speak in English, and if you want to speak in French, you can find someone to interact. But my advice will be to find some topics that you have in common interest. Otherwise, it will be just hello, how are you? Okay, I'm fine, bye. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you. I think Avilash is asking, can you tell us some French music we can start listening to? I think Marilyn has already shared a website where you get to listen to songs where she introduced you to the song by Faye. However, I'll ask her to add in.
Okay. Well, some French songs, same like I have like old songs because I'm not very into French music right now. But obviously, I will tell you Serge Gainsbourg, which is which was, because he passed away a long time ago, a very famous singer. If you like hip hop and slam, there is one, I will write it in the chat box.
Yes, it will help.
Very poetic. His name is Grand Corps Malade. So Grand Corps Malade means the tall body with disease. Because this singer had an accident one day and now he needs a stick to walk. But he has a very nice voice and everything what he sings is very poetic and it's very clear. So you might understand something. Otherwise, you have that singer, which is quite famous. Her name is Camille. And you have Zaz also. And I will send you also like different singers. Modern and also ancient. Okay, I won't tell you Edith Piaf. I guess everybody knows about Edith Piaf. I hope.
And then if you can, yeah.
Oh yes, Yannick Noah is a singer. And you know Yannick Noah? First, he was a tennis player. And he won Roland Garros. Yesterday, Rafael Nadal won Roland Garros. But in the 80s, Yannick Noah won Roland Garros before becoming a singer. Yeah.
Marilyn, we can't see your thing. Have you sent it to everyone? You just typed in. You have to send it.
Yes, I've typed Grand Corps Malade, Camille, Zaz.
You have to send it. Just enter.
Okay. It's on a private.
Everyone.
It was on private. That's why. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Grand Corps Malade, Camille, Christine.
Yeah. Now
the Queen. So someone is telling me Céline Dion. Yes, Céline Dion, she sings in French. But she's Canadian. But yes, she's very famous all over the world, of course. Who else can I tell you? I said Zaz. So yeah. Okay, Carla Bruni is a good singer, but she sings quite slowly, so it's easier to understand the lyrics. Yes, that's true. Carla Bruni has a very slow flow, so it's very easy to understand. So I will try to find a few singers which are not too fast. So some activities. Les jeux or sites for les jeux en classe de FLE. So this is for the teachers, I guess.
Yeah. Shilpa is a teacher. Shilpa, she's our French teacher.
Okay. Ah, d'accord. Okay. Bonjour, Shilpa.
Bonjour, Nadine. I just want to ask, some very basic activities or some sites, where these our students can practice the language French while just playing, kind of
okay.
with the computer or something like that.
Alors, I will tell you a few because I got a few. You can find resources on. Do you know about Cavilam?
Mm-hmm.
Cavilam, Alliance Française in Vichy.
Oui. Yeah, sure.
So they have a website which is called Le Plaisir d'apprendre.
Okay. You can just type in the chat box.
Yes. Le plaisir d'apprendre .com. So I think you will find lots of resources to have games. There is another one. Sorry, I have to check on my phone because there is also La Fabrique.cavilam.com. And I will find definitely other. I'm just writing
Because right now they are at their places and we are not having any, classes in the physical mode. Otherwise, we do play games and activities we do in the class. So, right now just sitting at home, they can do some games at their places and learn more of French. So that would be
why don't you use French to communicate?
Il y a quelque chose de très simple que vous pouvez faire. Vous faites les cours en Zoom?
Oui.
No, c'est MS Teams.
Ok, mais en visio?
Oui, au vidéo, oui.
Ok. Ce que vous pouvez faire, c'est par exemple pour travailler le vocabulaire. Par exemple, vous demandez à vos étudiants d'allumer la caméra et vous leur dites « Trouvez-moi quelque chose autour de vous qui est jaune. » Et ils doivent trouver quelque chose qui est jaune. Voilà, comme ça, vous parlez en français et ensuite, eux, ils peuvent devenir maîtres du jeu et demander à leurs amis, trouvez-moi quelque chose qui est vert ou trouvez-moi un objet qui sert à la cuisine. Ou
en fait, nous préparons le PPT normalement pour partager avec les étudiants. The PPTs we prepare, so something if that can be done on that.
Ok.
Oui.
Ok.
PowerPoint.
Okay, so you're not doing some interactive.
No, c'est mélangé. C'est mélangé. It's all mixed.
Okay, I'll find some resources for you also, and I share.
Thank you. Merci. Yeah.
You told us about living in India for a few years, and do you think that somewhere there are similarities in your and our culture overall? Well, very interesting question.
Similarity, I think, is our love for food. Indians love food. French people have all kinds of different delicacies like us. I mean, if there is one country where in Europe where there's a lot of delicacy in food, it's France. So that is one similarity, I think, very, very close similarity which we have with the French people.
And also the love for food and the love for talking about food. I thought that French people were the only one who talked so much about food, but no. Indian people also talk a lot about food. Actually, the similarities I found with India are more with Morocco, where I used to live for 4 years, than with France. But we always have similarities like that. What can I tell you about, like, but it's everywhere in the world, just people want to be happy in their life, that we can see, to have security, which is very important. And there is something that I've noticed with Indian people, and which is something that I really appreciate, is that you are always very curious about different people, about the new person who come to discover new things, and you are not scared to ask, and you are not scared to experience. And I think it's a great value that you have.
Marilyn, there's one more question for you. I mean, they're asking if you offer internships. If yes, is good command of a language a condition?
Okay, so yes, for students who want to study in France, there is a program for internship. So there are 2 ways to study in France, but I think I will ask my colleague Rachid to come to meet you. But 2 ways to learn to study in France. You can study in a French language program. For that, you need to pass the B2 level as a DELF, or you can study in English also, in an English-speaking program, so that you don't have to master French. But I will suggest you to learn French just to enjoy the country, at least. And we have some calls for application for scholarships. That was about scholarships, yeah? The question.
No, internships.
Ah, sorry, internships. Well, offering internships is like a stage, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a training. Okay. No, we don't really have offers, but if you speak French, like as a B1 level, and if you master English at least at C1 level, we have that program, which is the English Language Assistant program. So you can spend 7 months in France teaching English in a French school and being paid. The call for application for next year just came out like a few days ago. So just try to find it on our website, French Institute in India. I will write down the website also. So it's efindia.com. Or you can find the French Institute in India on Facebook, and you'll find the information also.
Yeah, thank you, Marilyn. And just to add to your queries about opportunities in France, as Marilyn has mentioned, there will be somebody coming in a week or 2, and we will have another webinar where it will be all about the courses or the other schemes that they have for opportunities that you can have in France. So I would like all the related questions for that evening, which should be very soon in 2 weeks' time. So please keep your queries there. Somebody who specializes in these things will come and answer your queries.
Yeah.
Right? So they will tell you what opportunities you can have in France as a student, right? Yeah. Anything else that anyone wants? Any other questions or queries? I think it's already 9:20, Marlene. We should kind of wind up now. And I must thank you from the bottom of my heart to come at this time and give us this very, very insightful and informative lecture and telling us about how French somebody is asking, yeah, I mean, Purnima, answer to your question is she will share many websites for your pronunciation, for your other exercises, and your Navriti ma'am will share with you all, right?
Yes.
So from everyone, from our students, from our colleagues, from the Jindal University, I can't express my gratitude to you for coming at this hour and kind of really getting us to listen to some nice, pure native French. Thank you for that. And I think I will hand over to Navriti to say the last words of thanks.
Merci beaucoup, professeur. Et merci, Marlene. Comme j'ai déjà dit, c'était très, très enrichissant et vous avez partagé votre connaissance précieuse avec nous. Et merci de venir. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your ideas. And I'm sure the students are looking forward for the next webinar parce que c'est très, très important. Ça fait partie de leur carrière, for their career. And we really hope to meet very soon. And thank you to all the students for your active participation, for putting up questions and sharing your ideas. It's a pleasure to be with all of you. And thank you so much, Gopa ma'am, for taking this initiative to organize this webinar, and which has been very fruitful and informative. I thank you all so much.
Let's take, sorry to interrupt, let's take the last question, which is a very interesting question. Does the French language in terms of pronunciation change from country to country? Yes, the answer is yes, but I think Madeline knows more than me. So I will just let her please clarify this, because in India we have multiple languages and we all have our own accents. Even when we are speaking English, we can make out whether this person is from the south of India or the north of India or the east of India or the west of India. So it's kind of that kind of a question, which I think perhaps is kind of aroused curiosity. So they're asking if the people from Switzerland or other French-speaking countries, let's say Canada also, do they speak with a different accent? I think the answer is yes, but I will give it to Marlene to answer your question.
So yes, of course. Bien sûr, la prononciation est différente. Actually, it's not the pronunciation, but it's more a question of accent. The accent, and of course it's different because even in France, people from the north don't speak the same way as people from the south. Like in Marseille, the south of France, they have a very specific accent. And I will tell you something. When I watch a Canadian film, which is in French, I need to put the subtitles. I don't understand what they say. And it's in French. But the accent is so different from my accent that I can't understand everything. I can understand a little, of course. And the same in Africa. They have so many different accents. In Morocco, in Ivory Coast, everywhere in the world. And even if I listen to my friends, Indian friends who speak French, they have also different accents because of the region they come from. So yeah.
So language interference will be there, but that should not deter anyone from speaking the language.
No.
I mean, because each one of us, we are more, because our first language has been something different. So that is why that carries on to the other languages. But that's why that is even make it more interesting and more perhaps exotic.
Yeah, and French and different. I want to say that difference is great and it's beautiful. We don't have to be all the same and to speak all in the same way. It's not possible. So yeah.
Yeah, Aditya, answer to your question is that You should aspire to speak French your way. Right. So thank you, Mercy, and Marlene. Good night. And I think, yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
So, merci beaucoup. Merci à tous. C'était un grand plaisir. It was a great pleasure. I hope that soon we can meet for real. Yeah, merci beaucoup. Merci. Et bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Thank you, Satnam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Satnam ji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you.